Okay, so this is this hand, right? The one that was supposed to be good. And then this is the other one. And I want to peel off the nail polish on the side of the nail. Which I can, it's super easy actually. But it's peeling off the rest of my nail. Like the paint that's on my nail. Like, I don't know. This is the first time I've ever had nails. Because when I ride motorcycles, it like... Wearing gloves, it doesn't feel good, so I've always cut my nails. But now I have like sturdy nails. So I figured I'd paint them, and now I can't. I can't fathom. I can't fathom it. Ugh. I'm not listening to this song right now. We're changing the song. It's a party. We'll listen to if my computer will work. Hold on. There it goes. We're gonna party. Fuck copyright. Yeah, I was in a motorcycle accident. So, this is a huge story, alright? There's not a lot to it, but it just starts badly, okay? So, I met this guy on Hinge, a dating app, back when I was hot. And he rode motorcycles, and so did I. And so, but he was like, he has like pictures from like stunt performances and all this other stuff. So I was like, oh cool, maybe you can teach me a trick or something. Now that sounds bad, but I like doing the speed limit. I know it's made for speed, but I enjoy just not necessarily like speeding. It's just the wind in your face, because it's different than being in a moving house on wheels, like a car. It's just different. But so I think I'd be a person that enjoy a cruiser, but I think cruisers are like ugly, so I didn't get one. I got a Honda CBR 600. Anyways, I learned how to ride a motorcycle, blah blah blah, and he was teaching me how to accelerate fast, and it wasn't even his fault, right? But I was learning on his bike because he wanted to be cool and pick me up on his bike and show off, total guy stuff, which is fine. I didn't care. I was having fun. And we come to this red light, and it's at where a freeway ends. Let me turn down the music because I can't think. I feel like I'm talking super loud. Anyways, we're coming off a freeway, and I don't know if you've ever been on the end of a freeway where it starts turning into the main road. So the first light from going to a 70 mile per hour highway to a 30 mile per hour, it's super like weird because it drops down to 45 right before the red light. So then we're slowing down, we stopped, but someone was on their phone and they were doing like 80. So they rear-ended us, and there was a target right about a quarter mile away. I went rolling so far that the only reason why I stopped was because of the little cart things. The little sections in the parking lot that hold the grocery carts? So the grocery man, cart people can collect all the carts and put them in the store after you've used the cart. Those little cart things. The little cart section parking lot things. Okay, yeah. And so that's the only reason why I stopped rolling, is because I hit one of those things. And so I don't know what happened, honestly, because I was knocked out. Like, I just remember waking up at that car thing. And the first thing I remembered was being stopped at a stoplight. Like, that was it. And I took an ambulance, which was not far at all, to a hospital. And I broke my wrist, these two fingers, the tips of my fingers actually too. I have pictures. I broke my back, I broke my heel, I broke my knee, and my knee was hurt so bad. Sorry, I'm burping. I had Whataburger today. I broke my knee so bad they had to rebuild the cartilage in my leg, and honestly, it still freaking hurts. Like it's been 6 months now since then, and it's been 2 weeks that I've had my back brace off for the first time. But later on, I was like, dude, I feel so bad. It was super bad. And I was like, cause the motorcycle we were riding, he had only had it for 2 weeks. It was brand new to him. And he was kind of a bougie guy. Like, he had, like, nice stuff and whatever, which I didn't really care about. But I noticed when bougie things comes with bougie people, they have the same attitude. He was mad at me and said it was my fault that we crashed. But even in the police report, like, that I have, says we were rear-ended. And the dude didn't have insurance, the guy that rear-ended us, so it didn't cover our medical bills. I don't know how, but the dude that I was with ended up with only, like, a scratch and, like, a broken finger, and that was it. But I went freaking rolling. Anyways, that guy ended up suing me, and he wanted me to pay for his bike and his medical bills. His medical bills were $300 because of a copay. He had health insurance. And not that I didn't have health insurance, but I don't have the best health insurance. So obviously, I had so much more medical bills. After insurance, after copays, government and medical assistance, I still owe to this day $12,000 to the hospital, the ambulance, and my bone and back doctor. Like, it's ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, I'm making payments. I'm taking care of it. Don't worry about it. But he wanted to sue me for all of that and say it's my fault. Now, obviously, you would think, like, well, there must have been something more. You must have did something for him to blame. No, I didn't do shit. And you know who won the case? I did, because I didn't do shit. So, yeah, I got in a motorcycle accident, and it was nothing but drama. And it's finally over. I did. And, I can sue here's my thing. I can sue the people that rear-ended us, but he told me it's almost pointless because they pretty much can file bankruptcy, and if they don't pay, all they get is jail time, and I'm still stuck with it. And I'm like, to me, if you don't need to make someone's day worse, obviously you don't have to. They got their consequences, right? But they didn't have insurance. They were on the poorer side, and what's it called? For me to get anything out of the dude I was dating at the time, the guy I met from Hinge, I said, can't he cover my medical bills because of his motorcycle insurance, right? So in the state of Arizona, the law, and I think for most states too, you must have liability insurance. So that means no matter what motor vehicle, you have to have liability insurance, which covers your passengers and which covers the other people's accident if you were to cause one. And I was his passenger. I was on the back. But the whole reason why his insurance didn't cover was because when he put the quote in and it asked for a description or report, it says that he was teaching me how to ride the motorcycle. And which is not true. That's not true at all. I mean, it is, but not like that. Like, I knew how to ride. I had a motorcycle license, but they still declined it purely for the fact that it was mutual. Like, I had agreed to it. So I can't complain if I agreed to the consequences and all this other stuff. Which, at that point, if I had a problem with it, I would have to sue the insurance company and not that guy for the wrong allegations. But that's what he signed for, and blah blah blah. So it makes me look super bad, and I couldn't get anything out of anyone to help with medical bills that literally I had no a part of besides being the passenger, which is the other dumb reason of him suing me. And the lawyer told me that if I ever were to sue the Hinge guy the date I was on, it would be for purely for inconvenience, and it would be go to smallest claims court, and I wouldn't be able to sue for more than $3,000. But they don't allow attorneys and all that stuff because it's civil court and it's small claims. So there should be no need for a jury, a judge, and whatever. It would be a civil court officer. So trust me, I've done all the research. I know more than you think. It's not worth it. It's just totally not worth it. But as much as our president's kind of stupid sometimes, Joe Biden passed a law that any hospital bills or bills under $500 won't appear on your credit and won't go to collections. So I'm not really worried. My two biggest bills are my ambulance and my surgery. So for my surgery, I own like $7,000 for my wrist, my knee, my back. And then from the ambulance, I owe $10,000. So I paid most of that already, so I only own $12,000 now. But whatever. Shit happens. What am I gonna do? Cry about it? Yeah, it's the story. It's a lot of drama. I think the only thing I learned from that, besides getting on motorcycles with strangers and blah 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 blah, all the common sense stuff, red flags, blah blah blah. Shit, I don't know. I feel like every American has some kind of debt. If it's not student loans, it's something else. I don't have student loans. I have medical bills. But I think the one thing that I would share with you is that the guy's claim was that I totaled his bike. So let me tell you what happened to the bike. The shell, the fairings of it. I don't know how much you know about motorcycles, but I'll like dumb it down just to make it simple anyways, in case someone watches it in the future. The shell of it, right? The outside of the motorcycle, it like broke off. So it's just like the plastic, you know what I mean? The things that make it look pretty. A mirror broke, and it was not electronic mirror. It was just a mirror with a hardcover, and a fork, that's like in the inside part from the engine to the tire, kind of like a wheel and axle, but different. Of the bike was bent. Now a bent fork, is kind of like a maintenance repair. It's like changing your brakes. It's a little pricey sometimes, but it's not like expensive. A mirror is a mirror. I don't know, glue that shit on, make it ghetto. I don't care. Make something temporary till you can buy a new one. And then the shell's a shell. Put that shit together. Ain't nothing super glue can't fix. I would know. So what I didn't know is that he said he totaled his bike, and I didn't think it was totaled, especially because, oh yeah, everyone did way better than I did. Literally everybody. But his friends literally drove the bike home. And he lived 45 minutes from me. That was straight freeway, no main road, straight freeway. And the bike did just fine. So I was arguing with the civil court officer or whatever. And I was like, it's not totaled. But the meaning of totaled is that the damages cost more than what the vehicle is worth. So, because it was a newer bike and it had a bent fairing or a bent fork, shattered fairings, and a mirror, the fairings were the most expensive. And he had gotten it on sale at Ride Now Sports or Power Sports or whatever. The fairings were $2,400, and that would be like equivalent to wrapping your car, right? So that plus the $500 mirror, which is stupid expensive if you bought it new, which he put down on paper, plus the labor and part work because of ABS brakes on the bike, that he paid for extra that are aftermarket. It ended up costing $200 more than the bike's worth, so it was considered total. So, if you ever get in a car accident, so on and so forth, and someone says it's totaled even though the car's still working and it looks perfectly fine, that's why. It's because the damages cost more than what the car is worth. So that's my lesson. That's all I learned. That, and I'm never talking to another motorcycle guy again. Life happens. And I'm just focused on peeling nail polish off my nails. It's working, it's just taking a little time here. I just don't want to ruin them, like the whole nail. But yeah, that's about it. I don't know. That was just a lot of hoopla. Oh, let me tell you. I felt so bad. I gave him $1,100 to get a new bike, a down payment for a new bike. And he tried to say in court he had no bike or whatever, and just something in my gut feeling, right, told me to go to his Instagram. He had a new bike already. He had a new bike already, and in his Instagram bio, it was a 2002 Honda CBR. And he tried telling the court that he had no new bike. So when I told him that, when I told the court people that and showed evidence, right, because there's no lawyers, you have to provide everything yourself. It looked really bad for him. He like kind of got called out, because the court, yeah, that is perjury. Because when you're the one filing for a small claims court, they go through like your assets, so what you have under your name. So if he has a new bike, it's under his name, and they saw it, so he can't make that claim. So I don't know, learning experience. It's whatever. Shit happens for a reason.